to be able to just make a choice on your own and just be able to speak for yourself.
This one's wife, William the Peacemaker. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. LBC reports by Emma Sotiero. Prince Harry and this one's wife should be stripped of their royal titles, says Kate's uncle. Gary Goldsmith is apparently shedding more information, as you'd expect, and part of the reason why he was invited to be on Celebrity Big Brother. He's there dishing the dirt about the Sussexes whilst also defending the Waleses, as you'd expect him to do. And, unsurprisingly, he's calling for Prince Harry and this one's wife to be stripped of their royal titles. Gary Goldsmith, the report states, who is the Princess of Wales's uncle, revealed that Prince William had been the one to offer an olive branch to Prince Harry. He said he had done the best he could in a horrible situation. Speaking on Wednesday night's episode of Celebrity Big Brother, he also shared his thoughts on the Sussexes following their decision to step back from the royal duties in 2020. Fellow housemate Fern Britton asked him, "William surely must be furious to have the weight of it all on his shoulders." Mr. Goldsmith said, "William's done an amazing job in that horrible situation. He's had an olive branch open every time for Harry to come back and be part of the gang. I desperately feel that's the case. It's difficult to get a real judgment. I genuinely think that the family should take the titles away from Harry and this one's wife." It follows reports that Harry and this one's wife have changed their children's surnames to Sussex. They had been known as Archie and Elizabeth Mountbatten Windsor, but are believed to have changed to Sussex following the King's coronation. It comes after Mr. Goldsmith also addressed Kate's whereabouts following growing speculation online after her surgery. Love Island winner Ekin Su Kulkuloglu asked, "Where's Kate?" He replied, "Because she doesn't want to talk about, the last thing I'm going to do is, there's a kind of code of etiquette. If it's announced, I'll give you an opinion." Mr. Goldsmith continued, "I spoke to her mum, my sister. She's getting the best care in the world. And all the family's done is put the wagons round and look after family first before anything else. They put a statement out and just said, she's taking some time to recoup and we'll see you in Easter." Naturally, Mr. Goldsmith has a platform which he will love to utilise his only piece of relevance, the fact that his niece is the Princess of Wales, and it will provide him with an opportunity to show his loyalty to her and to William, and at the same time take a few swipes at the Prince of Pink Pancakes and his handler. But what about this suggestion that Prince William has been offering the olive branch to Harry and this one's wife repeatedly? Or at least has been offering it to Harry. Interestingly, his wording was, he's had an olive branch open every time for Harry to come back and be part of the gang. Would this be accurate? I think that it probably would be. I don't think that William, as a normal, who expertly advised knows what he's dealing with regard to this one's wife, would accept the two of them coming back into the royal family. Not at all. That would be entirely problematic as a consequence of what has been said about King Charles, about himself, but most importantly of all, about his wife, Catherine. William would regard that as beyond the pale and unforgivable. William knows his brother. After all, they've grown up together. He knows the good side of him. He knows the petulant side of him. But he also knows how he has been affected by the appearance of his wife. William knows perhaps better than anybody else the impact that this one's wife has had upon his brother, and that has caused his narcissistic traits to come to the fore, that has caused him to start looking at things in a different, skewed way because of her malign influences. Thus he knows what his brother is capable of, and recognises the happiness that his brother had before this one's wife came along. And it seems to me that William, recognising the awful nature of this one's wife and how she is the polluting and corrupting influence, maintains that Harry could come back into the fold on his own, but not with this one's wife. And therefore Mr. Goldsmith's observation that William has had an olive branch open every time for Harry to come back and be part of the gang relates to Harry only. It might not be the case that this olive branch now remains. It is possible that after the further behaviours that have been exhibited, William has changed his mind. But I would see that perhaps in the past he has held out that olive branch, but it has only been towards his brother, for him to come back into the royal family without this one's wife. There is no way that William would countenance that. He recognises the poison that drips from her lips. He has witnessed the way that she has treated his wife and, of course, his daughter. He has seen how upset his wife has been as a consequence of the way that this one's wife behaved towards her. You saw his simmering anger when the accusations were made about the royal family being racist, and how he cannot forgive the lies that this one's wife has spouted. But he knows that with his brother there was a way that he was before this one's wife came along, that he recognises that without her malign influences, Harry is a different person, and that he's easily led, that he's not capable of particular critical thinking, and of course he's affected by his own emotional thinking and the manipulative behaviours of his wife, so that the unpleasant sides of Harry, and they do exist, are more likely to come out as a consequence of her stewardship of him. William knows all of this and recognises what needs to be done. He's demonstrating his emotional empathy for his brother, because his brother sits within that smaller circle of empathy that William has as a normal, and maintains, or at least until recently, that he could come back into the fold. But it's only ever going to happen without this one's wife. William knows two things, and he knows them fundamentally. One, he knows what this one's wife is and how dangerous that is. Two, he cannot forgive the behaviours that have been exhibited towards his family, especially his wife. And therefore, there is never any way that William will allow this one's wife to inveigle her way back into the royal family. Thus, Mr. Goldsmith probably is correct in what he's stated. He's probably correct with regard to the fact that there is a potential olive branch, or at least there was until recently, for Harry, but certainly not for this one's wife. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.